All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome. Well, let me double check everything's working right. Yep, everything looks good. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game and a cast between Romantic versus, I believe this is Romantic versus Infi. I should double check this. Yep, Romantic versus Infi here on Terranistan. Over here on the top left-hand side of the map, we have Infi spawning as the red human. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom right-hand side of the map, no, actually, I'm going to change the colors around. There we go. Over here on the bottom right-hand side of the map, we have Romantic spawning as the red human. Over here on the top left, actually, no, let's, if I do this, there we go. Okay, so that lines up with that. That lines up with that. All right. Well, all you need to know is on the top left-hand side, we have Infi, and on the bottom right, we have Romantic. Infi is red here and also red here. Meanwhile, Romantic is green here and, well, blue down here. Anyone who tells me that these color changes work, it doesn't really work when you're in observer mode, as, well, the game is a little bit buggy in observer mode, so I'll just leave it at that. Now, I'm planning on casting 2 games today, maybe 3 if I get enough viewers on Twitch. And I guess that's a good way to get me to cast more games. So if I get enough viewers on Twitch, I think, what, 25 is a good number? I'll go ahead and cast more games. Otherwise, I'll just stick to 2 today. As, well, I am feeling, no, actually not that tired. Anyways, let's go ahead and break down into the game. This is going to be a human versus human mirror match. Romantic is over here on the bottom right. Infi is over here on the top left. It is going to be an Archmage versus an Archmage. Some people like to say Arc, some people like to say Arch. I don't really know which one is which or why they like to say that. I believe it's like Archbishop. I think I was studying the Latin on the word arch versus arc, and if without the word arch or arch, it is still a word, then it's spelled arch, like art, like what arc is it? Archon, because con is not a word, but it's an archmage because it's mage is still a word, like archbishop. Anyways, Footman now coming across over here. You're taking a look. We are looking at a bunch of frost armor coming down. So this creep camp is actually a little bit more difficult to creep out now. Both sides pretty much doing very similar things. Footman scouting out on the top and on the bottom here as we're looking at the Forest Troll Shadow Priest getting picked up. Now, the Forest Troll Shadow Priest is an important unit in this matchup because of that Abolish Magic. Abolish Magic, very key and critical in order to stop other people's water elementals. Let's take a look back across here. Archmage does get to level 2, placing down a farm. Pretty much Infi doing a very similar thing as well, as both sides still creeping out their creep camps. Follow-up play, we're going to be looking at whether or not we're going to have an expansion. Arcane Tower also being constructed here. More peasants are not being trained up, surprisingly, by Romantic. I would have thought you would want as many peasants as you can, as you are perhaps going to be a little bit lumber stuck for a little bit of time. It's 28 supply versus 29 right now, as we're looking at, well, militia being called over to try and establish up this creep camp. Back over here on the other side, Archmage of Romantic going instead after the Apprentice Wizard creep camps in the center portion of the map, and it looks like he's going to be going for a faster tier 2 tech. Faster tier 2 tech does often indicate faster to casters, faster to spellbreakers, hence faster tech. And what does all of that entail in the end? Well, it entails that you are going to be trying to push your opponent with superior units earlier on. As long as your opponent doesn't have enough stationary defense, then they may end up trying to, well, invest in additional economy, and it may not be able to pay off. Footman is going to scout this out, spot all of this. Meanwhile, the Archmage of Romantic is going to be getting very close to level 3 here as he finishes off all of these Apprentice Wizards. Now, needing 22 experience more. Meanwhile, back off to the north here, Archmage of Infi is in fact sitting at level 3, and this could actually spell a little bit of a problem. He is attempting to clear out a creep camp now. He is at level 3, so he'll have a little bit more damage, but at the same time, he is going to be significantly behind because his opponent Romantic has 2 Forest Troll Shadow Priests. With those Forest Troll Shadow Priests, he'll be able to shut down any level 2 Water Elemental, as we are now looking at a Town Hall nearing completion. At this point, it may actually be beneficial for Romantic to let that Town Hall become completed. By letting it become completed, his opponent is essentially vested or invested heavily into this particular expansion location. Footman now going to go ahead and try and drop back down. Low hit point Footman may try to back up here. This could be a potential problem as you take a look at Abolish Magic quickly taking down some of those water elementals. Archmage here still has a Potion of Greater Mana. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, and Footman now trying to chase after all of those units here. Archmage is going to try and back up, and you can see a little bit of a hit and run tactic as Water Elemental still could be dropping down. All right, a Footman will get taken down. There it goes. Archmage at level 3 trying to go after some additional units again. Archmage is now being forced to retreat all the way back. Drops another Water Elemental to try and put pressure onto the Archmage. Archmage may be forced to use that Potion of Invulnerability as the Footmen and all of these units are just going to be running all the way back home. There is one Arcane Tower, but that is pretty much it, as all of these peasants are now going to end up getting taken down. Archmage here still importantly has a Potion of Greater Mana, which allows him to get in even more damage. All right, Archmage back on the other side. This Archmage down to 388. Is he going to finish off more peasants? Looks like he will, as damage is starting to add back up. Water Elemental here could end up getting taken down. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest tries to Abolish Magic. Footman still dropping or engaging, as the Archmage here has 8 armor, and that is one of the reasons why it is so difficult to take down. All right, Water Elemental now being dropped down. Perhaps should have been used a little bit earlier, as we're taking a look at the Potion of Invulnerability now being used by the Archmage. All right, focus is going to be very, very important in this upcoming battle, trying to get the most out of every one of your units. Archmage gets up to level 4. A new Water Elemental could be dropped down here in just a moment. Scroll of Town Portal used in time, as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest should be able to get taken down. No, Forest Troll Shadow Priest, yes, does get taken down. Forest Troll Berserker, Footman in the backfield. Archmage needs to drop an additional Water Elemental, just did that now, as the Militia are now joining in on the fight, trying to just get into proper position. Archmage has another 2 Water Elementals left in him. Footmen have Defend, and this is going to become extremely important here. This Ring of Protection +2 making a major difference, as the Water Elemental could have stuck its ground to try and turn around and fight. The question, who came out ahead after all of that fighting there? As we take a look as the Archmage now backing up out of that fight. Double Forest Troll Shadow Priest hitting, healing over here. Goblin Alchemist now being added up. This is going to be that follow-up hero, and this is important. The superior tech allowing for the additional hero, and it is going to be healing spray as well. A lot of healing across multiple units here, as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest may actually want to stop trying to heal right now, as it may be better used later on. All right, let's take a look. Archmage on both sides are sitting at level 4. Footmen, Water Elementals are here as well. Archmage, Footmen, here we go. There's a little bit of damage on the Archmage, and that is exactly what he wanted in order to shut down all of that healing and perhaps more importantly, that mana. Arcane Tower now getting constructed back here. An additional Water Elemental could be added. Where is this Alchemist going? Is he going to be able to do very much? He's going to be forced to back up here. As you can see, the Arcane Tower could perhaps be trying to feed back this Alchemist. Alchemist now looking to pull back here, actually in a very dangerous spot. But he does have a good amount of armor, and that could potentially be very dangerous. Also, this Water Elemental here only needs 1 or 2 more shots. Not for some reason there. Reflected damage back enough to shut down that Water Elemental there. That is actually a very big deal, as the Archmage gets getting to closer to 5, and the Alchemist is halfway to 2. Would you rank the races maybe in between matches? As we're taking a look at the Archmage, now going to go ahead and just jump into this fight here. Footmen now pulling back. Archmage trying to hide down into the bottom here as the Footmen are engaging. Low hit point Footmen, well, do have Defend, Healing Spray, trying to keep up some of those units. It does work for a little while, but the Alchemist still taking a little bit too much damage here. Alchemist going to continue to try and fight. Finishes off another Footman, as the Water Elementals are taking a lot of damage again. Healing Spray being used once more. Alchemist now gets up to level 2, as the Archmage needs to be careful, needs to back off ever so much, but so many units having mana, and that is a problem. Alchemist still continuing the fight here. Archmage could drop an extra Water Elemental at any moment. Meanwhile, Footman with Defend, more than enough, as we're going to see the Arcane Vault now get taken down. All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. As the Alchemist now going to go ahead and join in on this fight. Water Elementals are being placed down, but they are getting dispelled and abolished pretty much the instant they get placed down. Alchemist at level 2 not as strong right now because he doesn't have that many units to heal. That is the problem with that Alchemist, in that if starts to taper off very, very quickly. Footman trying to engage, trying to fight back here. Defend being used as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest now looking to back up again. Long, engaging fights all over the place as the Archmage trying to, well, is he going to be able to escape? Down to, or sitting at level 5 now. Footman, Forest Troll Berserker Towers are dealing so much damage. Archmage, Priest need to heal back up. This Forest Troll Shadow Priest needs to back up here as the units are kind of split between multiple units again. Priest perhaps going to be dealing damage towards those Footmen. Footmen, well, now being forced to retreat again. That Priest damage dealing about 20 per shot. Or excuse me, 16 to 18 per shot, as they do have heavy armor. All right, Forest Troll Shadow Priest losing all of its precious mana. Water Elemental not able to tank it. Perhaps the Spellbreakers need to be joined in on this, in that front line here, as we're looking at 49 supply compared to 46. So far, Archmage is going to come across inside here and sees that the main base is completely wide open. This is potentially very bad here. Alchemist could try to join in on the fight. Well, Alchemist gonna go ahead and join in. There is Blizzard across the other side. Archmage is taking some acid bomb damage over time as the Water Elemental is actually going to get focused down by multiple units. All right, Spellbreakers, perhaps not that good of a choice to try and engage here. Mountain King could come across, perhaps Stormbolt onto some precious units, onto the Forest Troll Berserker. There's the Blizzard as he just stands still in an absolute ice storm, about to get taken out. Alchemist down to, what, 800 or 305 hit points out of a possible 875 with 5 armor. Archmage of Romantic finally forced to retreat. And with that, the question becomes, did Romantic deal enough damage? Alchemist is sitting at level 2. Archmage just on the cusp of level 5. This Archmage is at level 5, almost halfway to level 6. The Mountain King still fresh on experience. No Scroll of Regeneration. That does come as a surprise, as you normally pick up a Scroll of Regeneration in order to heal while trying to get to your destination. Now, what we're seeing here instead is that the Archmage with that Brilliance Aura is trying to, keep this army alive with a whole bunch of priests. Unfortunately, with the recent nerf to Brilliance Aura, I believe it will be reversed. The priests often just don't have enough mana. Archmage now gets up to level 5. Alchemist wants to stick around this fight. Archmage wants to back up. And if this Alchemist can get to level 3, which I will since the Archmage is far enough away, level 2 Healing Spray and or level 2 Healing Spray and or level 2 Acid Bomb are both very useful. Now, a large amount of militia being called off to the north. We can take a look. Double Arcane Towers here. Archmage sitting at level 5 could be dropping in some Water Elementals. 825 hit point Water Elementals now just diving on in. Arcane Towers, Spellbreakers in that front line position. You can see that Water Elemental just going to take far too much damage as the Arcane Sanctum looks like it will get taken out. A mass number of peasants are just now making their way inside here. Not quite sure what to make of this, as this is a bit of a head scratcher. You really should be trying to construct towers if you have peasants this far into the fight. All right, I guess what's happening here is that if you know that if you know you just need peasants or units on the field to heal, bringing peasants along just so that they can absorb damage and try to choke things up is still very nice. There's that Blizzard right now. Damage getting added back up. What are these peasants doing? They're marching along, going nowhere fast as the Mountain King is in that front spot. All right, bash onto the Alchemist. Alchemist in a weird spot now, being forced to pull back. Mountain King gets up to level 3. Level 2 Thunderclap is possible. Healing wards are going to be the death of Romantic unless Romantic can get some big damage here. Alchemist unable to do very much here as we're going to take a look. There's an Acid Bomb. There's Healing Spray as the Forest Troll Berserker perhaps a little bit happy or very happy. There are priests ready and nearby to offer him some protection. Archmage still pulling back around. Stormbolt onto the Forest Troll Berserker takes him down, picking off units one by one, and this is a war of attrition that we're looking at here as the Alchemist needs to turn tail and run again. However, constant units being lost by Infi as the units are getting spawned here and being forced to walk through this army out of position. Let's take a look. Front location Footman quickly getting taken out, as the Alchemist may try to go to the back here and then just try to healing spray a bit more. Priest are still in the backfield. You can take a look. Healing Ward quickly taken out by the Archmage with that range attack, as we're going to see this, this Spellbreaker getting healed back up just enough. Spellbreakers are in a bit of a run. 1-1 upgrades compared to 1-0. Who's going to come out on top? Whoever overreaches first generally ends up losing in this fight, but Romantic is still in a serious sort of trouble as he does not have the economy. The longer this game goes, the better it will be for his opponent, Infi, as Infi is now comfortably sitting on 14 gold a second. Coming back around, mass army of Spellbreakers. I don't believe Knights are coming in. We are getting additional armor upgrade units are being pulled back here. We are at keep. We are not going to be getting Knights. And with that said, well, healing spray being used to try to keep up all of these units again, as the Priest, well, gets up once more. What is going on? Another healing ward being placed down, or excuse me, the same healing ward being placed down, and that healing ward has been there for quite some time, offering lots of protection. Alchemist down to, what, 122 mana, losing a lot of that to the Spellbreaker's feedback, as the Priest, or many of those Priests getting picked off there. 62 supply compared to 68. Infi is now in control with the supply advantage, just ever so barely, as you can see the Alchemist trying to keep all of these units alive with that healing spray. Spellbreakers, both sides fighting. 1-1 upgrades compared to 1-1. 2-1 upgrades coming in for Infi, as Water Elemental still being thrown back down. Spellbreakers looking to fight in the proper position. Let's take a look who's going to be able to come out on top, as the Mountain King low on mana. There is another Blizzard across all of these back units here. Spellbreakers being forced to retreat. Archmage still sitting at level 5 here. The Spellbreakers in that front line so difficult in order to just try to push and break through. 65 versus 65 right now. Let's take a look who's going to be able to get a next kill first. It looks as though, yes, one Spellbreaker does get taken down. More healing spray. Healing spray trying to counteract as a Priest, wow, dodges some ice shards for some additional life. That Priest getting, well, bolted in the back, fireballed in the back. Not quite sure which one is worse, as the Spellbreakers are now retreating back here. 61 supply compared to 67. Those two Spellbreakers, or those two Priests, really the difference in supply between these two, as this Priest needs to pull back here. Vampiric Aura on the Mountain King, only really benefiting that Mountain King. Alchemist now trying to fight back here. It looks as though, yes, Forest Troll Shadow Priest will get taken down. Priest are in the front line. Are they going to get taken out as well? There goes another. Alchemist gets up to level 4. Another healing spray would be absolutely critical, and there you have it, just in time. Getting that little bit of bonus mana is enough to keep that Alchemist, or keep some more units alive. 2-1 upgrades now going into 2-2. Both sides having 2-1 upgrades now, as we're looking at what is that? Infi trying to get 2-2 upgrades and also getting Arcane Sentry. These Spellbreakers in retreat. Where are they going to go? What are they going to try to run back off to next, as this Spellbreaker has taken a little bit too much damage and needs to, well, back off down to 17 hit points. Is he going to be able to stay back long enough to get healed? Yes, Alchemist is there with the healing spray. Archmage drops a Water Elemental only to see it get dispelled. And the number of Priests that Infi has, coupled with its positioning, has been the reason for victories. Meanwhile, Mountain King trying to get into the right spot, ends up losing a lot of mana right there and being forced to retreat again. Priest gets turned around, burned all of his magic in pretty much an instant. You could try to acid bomb all of those Priests right there, but no, healing spray might be better, as you can see him trying to back off again. There goes some more units, some more Spellbreakers getting taken down. This one Alchemist trying to maintain that mana long enough. There goes a little bit more. There's the healing spray, giving the Alchemist a little bit of an edge, still pushing through. Spellbreakers versus Spellbreakers, a big battle coming across. That low hit point Spellbreaker will get taken out, but, well, who is going to come out on top still? 63 supply compared to 66. Still neck and neck, as the Alchemist now in a bit of trouble, losing mana and, well, very, very too far deep. Going to be forced to pull back again. Priests are in the back. They are getting sharded to death. And there goes two precious Priests. Romantic not being careful to keep those Priests and that back line alive. Now, well, severely hurting in the healing department. Alchemist down to 66, down to 70 mana. Will be a little bit more time. Economically speaking, 72, well, economically speaking, Romantic is now being forced to set up an expansion here. Healing Spray being used. Archmage sitting at level 5, almost at level 6. Already level 6 here from Infi, but still no use of Mass Teleport yet. Mountain King at level 4. Picks up Ring of Protection +2. Scourge Bone Times has a Potion of Invulnerability again. And I believe Infi just has the better items at this stage in the game. We may also have a potential Creepjack here. Alchemist is here. What is happening? Sasquatch could get taken down. Alchemist could try to pick up some additional items. There it goes. And now going to retreat back once more. More experience going to be given. Mountain King does not get to level 5 though. As well, Priest joining on in this Spellbreaker army. Scroll of Regeneration, not the way you want to be healing your units right now. Mass Teleport into the base. Is it going to be enough? Stormbolt onto some more priests here. Archmage is just right there. 430 gold left in the gold mine. He has no reason to really be in this fight except for if he wants to end it. One Arcane Tower couldn't make a big enough difference here as Infi is really in a tough spot. All right. Is he going to have enough to break out of this spot here? Mountain King, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability should be used here in just a moment. Spellbreakers are all being healed back up as they're trying to back up every which way. Archmage with that Water Elemental unable to break its way through. Mountain King losing all of its mana. Arcane Tower could be going after the Priest. That's really what it should be going after as you see a bash come across. Mountain King now with Inner Fire. Potion of Invulnerability. I thought that was Inner Fire. That's just a heal. Thank you for the follow as the Spellbreakers are now still fighting their way through. All right, 79 supply compared to 50. Romantic is holding on with the home base advantage. Militia being called back finally as they're still fighting their way back. Arcane Tower finally taken out. The priest with their mana. If the Arcane Tower had focused on each of those, that could have gone a very different way. Many militia are now gone. Mountain King sitting at level 5. Archmage sitting at level 6. Mountain King, perhaps it could try and use a Swirl of Town Portal to get out of a tight spot. He does have the larger army. What is going to end up happening here as unit after unit is still getting picked off? Blue's army, Romantic's army, significantly smaller. Swirl of Town Portal finally being used, but I think enough damage was done. The fact that all of the workers are now gone, peasants need to be retrained. Only 1 gold left compared to 1,000, and Infi knowing that, you know what, at this stage and this point in the game, I know I have an expansion. I don't believe my opponent has an expansion. I'm just going to be scouting that out. Even if my opponent has an expansion at this stage in the game, I know I can get there extremely fast with a Mass Teleport. All right, Militia, clear out that side over there. Know that there's nothing going on. Spellbreaker army now making its way off to the north. Gonna spot his opponent. All it's going to be is Infi taking the right amount of time to position his units, and that should be the end of that. No, actually going to try to clear out this expansion location. Wow, he's actually going to clear out this expansion location, not something that is absolutely necessary at all. Dark Wizard, all right, raising dead, getting some skeletal minions out onto the field. Dark Wizard should be losing a lot of damage here, or taking a lot of damage and losing a bit of mana. Archmage of red still at level 6. Mountain King sitting at level 5. Alchemist sitting at level 4 here. There goes level 4 or level 5 now on the Alchemist. 48 supply compared to 84. Alchemist using that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability in time to heal back up. Spellbreakers are trying to get healed up as well as that front line. Who has more units in that front line? Definitely Infi. There's the Stormbolt onto the Alchemist. Archmage gets to level 6, but even with the level 6 Alchemist at this point, is it going to be enough? Mass Teleport could easily just get Stormbolted by the Mountain King. And with that said and done, the Archmage really has nowhere to go. Perhaps level 3 Brilliance Aura would have been the safer bet at this point. Not that I would highly or really ever recommend it. Except maybe in instances like this. 76 supply compared to 42. Spellbreakers, 2-2 upgrades compared to 2-2. We are now getting into Inner Fire research. And that is, well, Inner Fire would only go onto the heroes. Not sure really what the point is as the Archmage is still trying to fight back this larger army here. Plenty of priests in the backfield. Archmage not getting stunned at all as the Alchemist trying to engage onto that Mountain King. Mountain King down to 239 hit points, trying to heal back up still. Healing Spray, healing up multiple friendly units as well. He gets Stormbolted, Mass Teleport in order to get away. And there, oh, teleports off to the north. What is that? Just teleports a hop, skip, and a jump away. Alchemist finishes off some more units. Avatar now for the Mountain King. Archmage falls, and that is the game. Infi taking out Romantic here on Tyrannus Stand. All of you guys on YouTube, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Those of you guys on Twitch, stick around.